people, and welcome to the Just My Opinion podcast. I am Eta, and what I'm going to say is just my opinion, not facts, just my opinion.
Yeah, on the other hand, you have ambassador, and what I'll be saying, well, just as we say in French, engage que moi. Donc, if anybody's not happy with it, they can give their own opinion, but for now, I'll stick to my own opinion.
Right. Okay, so today I would like us to touch on maybe 4 different topics if we have the time to. So first of all, I'd like us to talk about increase in the coronavirus cases in Cameroon, then the death of the legendary musician Manu Dibango, then land moving in Rwanda, and finally the flood in Cameroon, in Buea.
Okay, well, then on my end, I'd like to look at the new signings made by Empire, because I think it's going to shake up the entertainment scene, especially the music side in Cameroon. And then there's what I like to call unemployment and how it affects the entertainment industry. So it's 2 aspects all in one: the unemployment rates in Cameroon and how it affects the entertainment industry. Yeah.
So let's start with the increase of coronavirus cases. So just this morning, I actually realized that the cases have gone up to about 139. And I am seeing, okay, at first we had cases in Yaoundé, Douala, in the places where you have airports. You say, okay, people are getting into the country, maybe that's why we have cases there. But now it means it's spreading internally, because we see cases now in Limbe, and I heard of another case in Bafoussam. So I basically think one reason for the increase in cases might be due to the fact that a lot of people are not following the rules of staying at home, or maybe the hygienic laws which the government is putting in place.
I think that's one, but still I think earlier in one of our other discussions which we had, I mentioned the fact that corruption is going to play a strong role. I mean, unlike the other countries where we see law enforcement curbing on these things and then putting a strong hand on people's movements and coming into the country. Just today, I think the Minister of Health put out a message where he was saying that most of the other cases that they have identified is still due to the fact that people came in on a certain Air France flight and then bribed police or control officers at the airport who let them in, and then they went into their various families and various towns, and then till things got critical, then they started contacting the administration. But by that time, they already spread it to a number of other people. So once again, these are those things which I said I saw it coming, and it's happening exactly as I said. People will come in, and because law enforcement is not that strong enough, I use the word strong for lack of a better word, to control things the right way, and then till it gets out of hand, then people pay attention.
Yeah, but I just think it's really sad, because this is a life-threatening situation. This is some people are calling it World War III. Everybody is hands on deck. People are trying to do research to find a vaccine or find a cure. I really hoped that with this situation, maybe just with this situation, at least people are going to see the bigger picture, like the officials, they're going to see the bigger picture. I know that it's not just about me, it's about human existence. It's actually threatened, because if these cases keep on increasing, the death rates keep on increasing, you're not really optimistic about what the future is going to look like. So I just hope that with this case, I was really being optimistic that things will be different. And because I even saw the tweet. Yeah, I saw the tweet which was. Yeah.
Not necessarily. I mean, I always drag people's attention to these things. For some people, before Corona kills them, they feel like hunger is going to kill them first. And also, I feel like we are looking at just the poverty in the pocket, but I also feel like poverty of mindset is also an issue in Cameroon. So most of the time you have people who maybe they just have that poverty of judgment, I will put it that way. So they'll make these wrong choices, and they're not looking at the bigger picture of what you are saying of national deeds and spreading around the world. He's just looking at his survival now, and that's it for him. So for me, there is that poverty of judgment, which for me, I find it even more alarming than the corona thing itself. And for me, it has always been worrying even before the corona situation, because a lot of other things get out of hand, but because it's not mediatized, it just happens that way, and then we live with it. But this is one of those things where the camera is going to be on the action, and then we are going to pay attention to some of these details.
Yeah, and also the strategies which other governments are putting in place, like total lockdown and things which around the world we are hearing reports of, okay, it's really helping to flatten the curve and things like that. But here in Cameroon, I don't think that can be implemented due to the fact that there are lots of people, majority of the economy which is hand to mouth. So if you tell the bike riders, the taxi drivers, the people who sell, and that's how they feed their family, how do you tell them stay at home? Other governments, like other parts of the world, the government is giving some money to the people, but I don't think in Cameroon that could be done or that will be done. So it's really it's not really practical telling people stay at home, because I would stay at home and how would I feed my family if I don't go and drive my taxi or go and drive my bike? How am I going to feed my family?
So once again, it's just a reflection of the weakness in our society. So of all the problems we have, from Boko Haram to the NOSO and how can I call it, the political instability we have, I don't feel like it's just to expect the government to have the economic strength to support some of these things. But once again, I also say most of the money that has been embezzled, if people could bring it back, it could help. But it is what it is, and we just have to make do the means we have. We know we don't have the money like America to do all of those things, so what can we do at our level? And I feel like sensitization is one, the talk we are talking now is two, and I really like to congratulate the Minister of Health too, because for some people it's not a lot, but for somebody who really knows how Cameroon works, I feel like he's doing a great job compared to all of his other colleagues. So he's really trying to keep up with the pace, and then he's on Twitter, Facebook, sharing information and trying to sensitize people, and he's trying. He might not be the best, but he's trying.
I think he's trying his own best. Again, people, like a lot of celebrities are coming to speak out. I think that's also good, because these celebrities have a lot of followers and fans who kind of listen to them. So it's also a good thing that we have all these celebrities come to speak out. So everything they are saying, they are reiterating the same thing. Just try your best to maintain your hygiene, because this virus cannot get into your system unless you help it to. So we just have to stop it before it gets into our system. Use the hand sanitizers, wash your hands frequently, do not touch your face, don't touch your eyes, your nose, your mouth, don't touch any of those parts where those mediums where the virus uses to get into our systems. That's one way in which we can all play the role to fight against this virus. So maybe we move on to talk about one of your topics before we get to my next topic.
I mentioned the Empire signings, and that I would prefer we talk about, because Empire signings is just more like news, and once again I'll just say it in passing because of time constraints. Empire has signed a couple of upcoming artists who were like big on the scene, and then we know the connection between Empire and Universal, so I don't know if it's Universal signing them through Empire and whatever, but for me it's just that I feel like if we don't take advantage of the potential of our entertainment industries, outsiders will come and then they're really going to milk us out. So for me it's something in passing, but what I really wanted to focus is more of unemployment rate in Cameroon and the impact on the entertainment industry, because that I was going through Facebook and it just struck me. I realized like every day you see some new artist is coming up, some girl you knew in the neighborhood or some girl you saw around, she's now a makeup artist, she's now a video vixen. And then the thing is, people don't go into the entertainment industry out of passion anymore and trying to be professionals. They go out of survival, so they go out there and do very unprofessional things, and then they just try to make ends meet. And so for me, I don't know, it's really, for me it's taking a negative turn or having a negative impact on the entertainment industry rather than a positive impact, because if all these amateurs and charlatans go into the industry, they mess up the work for the serious entertainers out there.
Before I go to talk about the employment and the unemployment entertainment industry, I want to touch a little bit on the Empire signing those 5 different artists. A lot of people were commenting when the news was shared that Empire signed these artists. You know the history of Empire. We know about the exit of several artists from Empire, and when Magasco left, he said, all is well, I will still be working with Pete Bakadi and the Empire company. But when Redeems left, according to Decoded TV, there was an insider source which said that actually Redeems left because Empire did not leave to their own end of the deal, and they have like a video which was not yet released on Trace Urban, and they felt like a lot of attention was not put on them. So some people were commenting that okay, you are signing to Empire, but very soon you probably leave like rhythms when you get to see the reality behind the whole thing. So a lot of people like maybe this is not actually a good thing that these artists are being signed by Empire. Okay, people, so we are back on the Just My Opinion podcast. I am Eta, and as we said, what I'm saying is just my opinion, not facts, just my opinion.
100%, and I'm here once again, ambassador, just voicing out my opinion.
Okay, so before we were talking about our employment and the increase of people, the flood of people into the entertainment industry. People might not be necessarily gifted as entertainers, but they just feel like this is the way to find the money. So they don't really represent the 237 entertainment industry well. They just do it, and it's just forceful, and it doesn't really look genuine, right? So I think that's where we left off.
So once again, I'll call out various fields, and then if you feel guilty, you can as well leave a comment, or you can insult me if need be, but just so that you know who I'm talking about. So we have all of these guys who have good cameras on their phones, and they automatically become video directors or photographers, and they go out there deceiving young girls who are also out of the hunger and the need to make some quick money. Turn up to these guys now become their new photographers and video directors. But that's a whole craft, that's a whole skill which people go to school for 4 or 5 years to develop it. So having a phone does not do the trick. Then we also have most of the, I'll call it the younger version tailors are now designers. I mean, every tailor is a designer trying to create their own brand out there. They just feel like because you take a piece of Ankara and you sew it on a t-shirt which you bought from the market, you are now a designer. But I feel like it takes a little bit more to go on Paris runway or Milan or New York runways. It takes a certain level of creativity. Then every girl who has a large mirror in her parlor and at least lipstick and the eye pencil things now becomes a makeup artist. So that's a sacred recipe for confusion in the entertainment industry. When you put all of these things together, now we have the girls who are just totally lost because you went to 1 or 2 parties in Las Vegas and guys told you look good, you are video vixen automatically. Yeah, you introduce most of the girls in Moliko. I'm a student on the side, I'm an upcoming actress. I'm a student, I'm a video vixen, I'm a makeup artist, but they don't want to put in the 10,000 hours to perfect their craft. They just want to, as we say, WTT, and they feel like they're making a profession. For those who don't know, WTT means wash tonton. So they just go out there and then present themselves with their Washington career, and then they're introducing themselves as vixens or designers or whatever they may be calling themselves. But I feel like it's a disfavor to our industry, and I feel like those who stand to lose the most are those who really want to be serious with their craft. Because when these girls introduce themselves and then they cannot keep up to the hype, the next time you are serious with your craft, introduce yourself, you are treated like once one of those WTT girls, and that's not a good thing to be part of. Yeah,
but for me, I'll look at it like you have people who actually shine, and on all the crowd getting to the industry, but we have people who like these are the real people who are the video directors, these are the real makeup artists, are the real musicians. So I think in a way, I would say time has a way of filtering out the real people from the not very serious people, and I don't think the issue is getting into the industry. I think the issue is getting into the industry and not putting in the work required to be a better version of whatever you're trying to achieve. It's true that they say one of the ways to learn, the best way to learn anything is actually by doing, and sometimes you might not even have the resources at hand to do it. Like we don't have the Canon camera or the Sony camera, whatever big name is out there right now. You don't have the right equipment, but you start with what you have. It's also a good quality. Start with what you have and gradually grow. But also one thing which is lacking, I think, with a lot of people getting into the industry is not willing to put in the number of hours. A lot of people making lots of excuses. This, I don't have this, this person, this, I don't have the finance, and all those excuses. We could stay for hours and hours quoting different examples of people who have had even less resources than you, but are in greater heights than even some of the big names we see around us.
Is more of the hours, putting in the hours. So I just mentioned the various equipments and the situations which they might find themselves in, but it's more of, even if you have the phone or whatever, putting the working out hours. So you could have a phone and you take wonderful pictures with it, and you can also have a Canon whatever and you make a mess of it. So it's more of putting in the work. But it's even a how can I even put it? It's a very, very sad situation when first you don't have the equipment and you're not even willing to put in the work, then you just make a mess of everything.
Yeah. Okay, so let's proceed. So let's proceed to talk about the flood which happened recently in Buea. So I saw a video with the water coming to town and things, but like from what I hear, it's like I didn't really know how much it affected people. I heard somebody saying something like people actually lost their houses. Am I right? Very
correct. I mean, it was one of those things where I said it just it's the I don't know if I should say the saddest side of me, but at times when some of these things happen, I'm sad, but I'm a little bit happy because there are all these flaws in our society which we really get hit, and I mean hit, we don't wake up from sleep. Yeah, unlike other societies where some scientists will build up his research center up in the mountain and start carrying out research on possible things that can happen in the next 50 years if the mountain should erupt, possible things that can happen if there is a flood. No, we don't have those things. Most of the young people are there drinking in bars until there is a flood that carries away the bar and then maybe kills some members of their family. They will not wake up to start thinking like what can be or what can happen, or what preventive measures can we take, or what emergency things can we set up if in case these things happen. So I feel like those things happen, nature will always be nature, but what measures can we put in place to ensure that when these things happen, we minimize the damage possible, we are able to help out people as fast as possible, the response time should be as minimum as possible. So all of those things for me, it's a terrible thing, but also a good thing because I don't know what's wrong with the black man's mind, but we always need harsh and hard things to happen for us to wake up and think.
Yeah, but I don't think it's just the black man's mind, because you remember the thing, if we look back in time, we realize that one thing which we have in Africa, which some people call the curse of resources, is that we have lots of resources. We have food behind our house. It's very difficult to see like somebody really starving, like nothing to eat, not even a mango falling from a tree or something that you can harvest somewhere, right? We have all those resources in different places. But when we look like in the Western world, like if you don't work hard, you don't really do the work, you find it very hard to find the food. That's why you have a lot of homeless people that way and all those things. And a lot of times they have learned to put in the work and learn to get the innovation from the hardship. So I think even with the Western, even with the white man, it's due to this hardship which they have been facing in life, which has led them to work to find the solutions, to find a better life. So I agree with you when you say, okay, maybe we need this hardship, maybe we need this wake-up call to say, okay, you are not going to have food anyhow, you're going to actually lose your house, so then put in the work. So I don't think it's just the black man. I think that's just, it's kind of human nature. People have to really be hit with some catastrophe to know that, you know what, you cannot just be sleeping on your bed all day.
So to put it in a better way, maybe it's the black man who is found in Africa which is most blessed, and then that's their blessing and their curse. But I feel like most of the time we try to
generalize things, like when they say Black Lives Matter, people say all lives matter. It's true, all lives matter, but there is a peculiar situation which is unique to the black man, which should be taken a little more seriously.
Yeah, it's true. Like it's true when they say, okay, all lives matter. It's like you're diminishing the fact that these black people who have had less, and we are trying to get an upper hand. It's true, but I'm just trying to say, if we look at this in a positive light, which I think that's the same thing you're trying to say, we will see that even the Westerners have faced these very challenges, and also these challenges that they learned to be better. Like they had winter, right? We do not have winter yet, so they had to invent things like, I have to put a heater in my house, I have to look for a way, if not the cold is going to kill me. But we never had those kind of things. You see people sleeping on the street, we never have winter to come and disturb us. Like, I'm good with my Carabot house, I'm good, no trouble, right?
That's very, very true. That's very true.
Okay, so I think we will round up for today. I think we're going to leave it like this. Of course, we have lots of things to talk about on the Just My Opinion podcast. So in case you haven't yet subscribed, make sure you subscribe because we have lots to talk about. We have a lot of opinions to share. Of course, feel free to share your own opinions in the comments below. If you don't approve with us, well, like I said, it's just my opinion, not a fact, just my opinion.
Okay, and once again, it's your boy, Ambassador, voicing out his opinion. And
if you're not happy with it, that even makes me happy because it means diversity is what parts of life.
Right.
I'll be learning. So once again, thanks for having the platform, and hopefully I'll get your feedback.
Yeah. Before we go, quickly, do you have anything to promote? I know I don't have anything to promote on my end. Do you have anything to promote?
Not really for now. I'm just promoting the Just My Opinion podcast till some money making venture comes up there, because whenever you hear me talk about something, there's money behind it. So when the money ventures start coming up, you'll hear me talking about them. For now, it's just my opinion. I'm out there. Thank you.
Awesome. See you guys next week, next time. See you. Bye.
Bye.